Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for the 7th and final time of the day as we have game number 13 coming up here in the 9th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge presented by Burnfat Orlando and St. Germain Chiropractic. Please welcome our guests wearing the black jerseys. Visitors on the scoreboard from Auburndale High School, they are the Bloodhounds. And wearing the orange jerseys, home on the scoreboard, representing the Orlando Metro Conference from West Orange High School. Please welcome the Warriors. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Auburndale, and we will start at guard. We will start, there it is, at point guard with 5'9" junior number 12, Dorian Allen. At small forward, junior number 15, Tobias Holton. At power forward, 6'6" senior number 23, Nathan Beamer. At small forward, 6'3" junior number 5, Cameron Laguerre. And finally, for the Bloodhounds, at small forward, senior number 1, Isaiah Turner. And the head coach of the Bloodhounds in his 17th year at Auburndale, Eric Robinson. And now let's meet the West Orange Warriors, starting at point guard with 5'9" senior number 3, Nigel Brown. At guard, 5'10" junior number 12, Garrison Smith. At guard, 6' senior number 3, Tyler Schuler. At shooting guard and forward for the Warriors, 6'4" sophomore number 24, Mike McAllister. And finally for the Warriors at center, 6'5" senior number 20, Skylar Helmuth. The head coach of the Warriors in his 13th year at West Orange, Mr. Eric Jones. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. Tonight's game, like all of our games in the Metro versus Florida Challenge, is being live streamed on YouTube. If you have friends and family back in Auburndale, back in the Winter Garden side of town, or anywhere else in the world, and they are not able to join us in person tonight, make sure you send them a message and send them to our YouTube live feed. Subscribe while you're there. Metro versus Florida Challenge. You can watch that on your favorite mobile device, computer, or smart TV. You can also get links to our webcasts as well as links to live stats on our website, metrovsfl.com. And you can follow live updates on our Twitter and Facebook feeds at MetroVSFL. And welcome to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here joining you along with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief.
Well, again, thank you, Mark. As you said, this is the 13th time we've come here tonight, from Joe R. Sterling Stadium. And well, it's going to take a few minutes, I think, to recover from the last game there between Apopka and Eustis.
Yeah, what a thriller. I mean, that one took your breath away.
Yeah,
if you didn't already have your breath taken away just from calling 6 games in a row, that one would have taken your breath away even if it was the first game you called all night.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't necessarily, it was a well-played game, but it wasn't a perfect game. It had its ups and downs, but again, it was just such an intense, not just physically, but mentally. And in the end, of course, Apopka, the host school for this great event, this 4-day event, wound up being able to exert its will, its strength, and its presence over the last 12 minutes or so. So looking at this game, of course, representing the Metro Conference is West Orange. Last year they had a very average-looking 17-14 record, but very much like Scott Williams, the coach of Apopka, Eric Jones puts together the toughest possible schedule to get his team prepared for the postseason, and it paid dividends. They were made it all the way to the state Final Four last year. after going through that very difficult regular season schedule, finishing second, runner-up in the District 9A3 Championship Tournament. And, of course, we've talked about that district as all 4 teams have now played from that district in this event. West Orange, Apopka previously, Evans, and Wekiva. And as we've mentioned over and over, it's, I like to characterize it as the give no quarter, take no quarter district, or if you prefer, it's rough and tumble. And we're seeing that again this year. West Orange did have to replace a number of key players, including DJ Harding. They did return 5 members, and through the end of December with only Wekiva played them on Tuesday. They are now 6-9. You can definitely see the loss taking their toll.
And some bad ball handling here. We'll put it on the floor. And we're going to get a timeout to save the possession. And the first 2.5 minutes here have been much sound and fury, signifying nothing. 30-second timeout requested by the Warriors. And we will pause here to recognize our signature sponsor, presenters of the Metro vs. Florida Challenge this year, Burn Fat Orlando. Dr. St. Germain and his team at Burn Fat Orlando want to help you lose up to 30 to 40 pounds. And they will put their money behind that with a money-back guarantee. If you don't lose weight in the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. So step on the scale every day and watch your progress by calling 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN.
Just to give you an idea, DJ, or for Daryl Harding, was a 2018 Orlando Sentinel honorable mention, a senior, 6'4", and he was a power forward. So again, West Orange still trying to find a way, but coming out of the District 9A3 always gives you hope, because if there's ever a district that can prepare a team for the postseason, it is 9A4. Tonight, though, keep an eye on Jamarcus Clark, Nigel Brown, and Judah Collins. Those guys have all been important. And again, Mark and I, we are the regular broadcasters and for announcers for Wekiva. So we see West Orange twice because they are members of the same district. And both of them were split between Wekiva and West Orange.
Beamer from Laguerre to put the Bloodhounds on the board.
And West Orange is always a very physical team, mentally as well as tough. You better be ready for an intense battle. Moving over to Auburndale, once again, they're one of those teams that expect to make a long run into the postseason, specifically the FHSA postseason tournament. Pretty much anything less than a 20-win season and a couple of victories in the FHSA postseason tournament is considered a bad season. They've been slumping this year for a number of reasons, only 5-7 through the end of December. As you mentioned, Mark, Eric Robinson is their coach. He's in his 17th year, and he's built a perennial state power, notwithstanding this year. Their main players, or the big names, are Isaiah Turner, Prep Hoops 2019. Number 411, that's nationwide, Florida Hoops class of 2019. Number 32, Dorian Allen, 2018 Pope Preps honorable mention. And Nathan Beimer, 2008 Pope Preps first team. So keep an eye on those 3 players. And also, Cameron Laguerre is known for great defense. And very much like West Orange, Wekiva, and even we talked about Apopka with Scott Williams at the helm.
Isaiah Turner picks up 2 for the Bloodhounds.
Auburndale loads their schedule with all kinds of highly ranked teams with expectations of long runs into the postseason to get ready for the postseason themselves.
Foul is called against Warriors, number 3. Nigel Brown is first, the team's first to the line, shooting 2, Cameron Laguerre. And in case you're wondering, West Orange apparently had an issue with their white uniforms. Normally, as the home team, they would be wearing white. They are, in fact, wearing orange, which still works out because orange is a very clear contrast from black. But that's why you have essentially two schools wearing their away uniforms. But just like every game in the Metro versus Florida Challenge, as the representatives of the Orlando Metro Conference, West Orange is the home team in this contest.
And again, we've seen a very intense ball game. Certainly, I'd say pace is middle of the road here. Some ups, some quicker moments, some slower moments.
Push is called against number 1, Isaiah Turner. That's his second and the team's third.
And so Auburndale is opened up as you expect, being a team that relies on conditioning and changing the paces and man-to-man defense. And again, nowadays, man-to-man defense is the most commonly used defense. We have seen a few teams, 2 or 3 teams at least go through stretches where they were not going man-to-man, but most of the teams throughout this event has used man-to-man.
Nathan Beamer gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against Warriors number 20, Skylar Helmuth, his first and the team's second.
So a chance to go up 8-0 here early in this game, only 4.5 minutes in. And again, this is not one of those runs where you see a bundle of points scoring like 10, 12, 14. It's been more of a steady, constant, taking advantage of mistakes for a point here, point there, adding up.
Push is called against number 15, Tobias Holton, his first, the team's fourth. Checking into the game for the Bloodhounds, Andre Blake. McAllister can't get the 3 to go. Long pass. Bloodhounds take a risky play and try to make something happen in transition. It won't work, though, as Andre Blake can't get there in time. Checking into the game for the Bloodhounds, number 24, Khalid Rashad.
Yeah, that actually was a good idea. The problem is pass took too long to be thrown. You can see as soon as that rebound came off, the break going down the court, but too long of a break before actually throwing it, and West Orange was able to recover and get in front of that ball.
And so now 5 minutes into the game, and West Orange still has a goose egg on the scoreboard. Andre Blake picks up 3 for the Bloodhounds.
So we've seen this in a number of games today, a quick lead.
Visual Russell puts West Orange on the board. And it only took 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, a quick lead of at least 10 points, double digits being taken by one team. And now West Orange a chance to get some of those points back here. Nice defensive play, good hand-eye coordination. As soon as that ball came out, the defense swiped it. Unfortunately, they did not turn it into points. So a combination of leaving some points on the table as well as defensive lapse is the reason for this 13-2 deficit from the West Orange perspective.
Dorian Allen gets the basket for the Bloodhounds, and will pause to find the ball. Snuck behind the media table there. Normally, of course, in high school basketball, the clock never stops after baskets unless there's a timeout or foul. However, if there is an extended disruption of play, they will make an exception for that, such as the ball getting stuck behind something that is not part of the court.
Great effort there by Marcus Allen. And of course, if you're my age, when you think of the name Marcus Allen, you think of the Raiders running back, the great Hall of Famer. No relationship, just happens to have the same name. He's a sophomore, 6'3", and a guard. Almost came up with the turnover there, but couldn't quite keep his feet in balance. And a moment of some levity as he ran into one of the assistant coaches. In the meantime, what's becoming a too familiar sight there.
Sure. Cameron Laguerre picks up the basket. And that is answered at the other end by Skylar Helmuth. Blake can't get the three to go. Skylar Helmuth picks up the rebound for West Orange.
Rare miss here in the early going by West Orange.
Foul is called against Auburndale's number 23, Nathan Beamer. That's his first personal foul, the team's fifth.
So 1 minute.
Dangerous positioning there by Smith. He nearly causes a backcourt violation as he gets put pressure hard on him by Cameron Laguerre, but he does manage to escape from that, get over to the corner. Visual Russell can't get the three to go, but a nice offensive rebound for West Orange.
That was the best offensive possession that West Orange has been able to create so far.
Laguerre can't get the jumper to go, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Bloodhounds. Checking into the game for the Bloodhounds, number 13, Zaylen Perry. Fouls called against Bloodhounds number 24, Khalid Rashad, is first the team's sixth. So Neil, now twice in a row, we've seen West Orange turn the ball over in the backcourt, which has created transition opportunities. They're frankly lucky that they haven't fared worse for that.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, 3 times in a row.
And that does coincide, those turnovers, with Auburndale going to a full court man-to-man.
Yeah, I think we had a little confusion because of the fact that West Orange is wearing a color that they misread the fouls on the scoreboard. So it is, in fact, just going to be an ordinary foul here.
What was it on? All right, that's not 1-1.
West Auburndale has committed 6 fouls, which is quite a bit at this point in one quarter. But, of course, 7 gets you the bonus. So they are still not... They are still 1 away from the bonus. And after we get that sorted out, 16-4 lead, 15-4 lead by Auburndale, and they will have an opportunity to get the last shot here before the end of the first quarter if they so wish.
Basket by number 23, Nathan Beamer.
Beautiful execution there by Auburndale to close out that first quarter. Pretty much the epitome of what happened, too, throughout that first quarter. Auburndale, a dominance and superior execution.
So that takes us to the end of the first period, and it is, in fact, a 17-4 lead over the Warriors for the Bloodhounds. 13-point advantage for Auburndale headed into the second 8 minutes. And we'll take this opportunity to recognize St. Germain Chiropractic Clinic. If you have back or neck pain, headaches, or you've been in an auto accident or a slip and fall incident, or you have musculoskeletal conditions or anything else that's putting you in pain. If you're in pain, call St. Germain. They have the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida and Orlando area, and most insurance is accepted. St. Germain Chiropractic Clinic, proud sponsors of the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. We also want to thank Commissioner Kyle Becker and his team at the City of Apopka for their support of Apopka High School and the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. And we want to thank your hometown station, 1520 WBZW. They are great friends of Apopka High School all year long, and particularly at the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, they are generous promoting this event to get the word out about this 20-game showcase to the greater Apopka area. Smith to McAllister for the first points of the second quarter.
So as we move into the second quarter, Mark, to be honest, Auburndale did not play very well. It's far from really average. The problem, though, if you're from West Orange, is that West Orange has played really, really bad. Looking at the stats here, again, nothing that really is even average. Most of them just below. But compared to West Orange, still much better. 7 of 21 from the field for Auburndale, so 33%. Only 2 of 14, however, for West Orange, that's a percentage of 14.3. So even though 31% is well below average, it's still 17 better than 14. And then rebounding was 15 to 11 in favor of Auburndale, so slightly ahead there too. 11 turnovers for West Orange compared to 7 for Auburndale. So again, not a tremendous amount, but that slight amount, you add that together with the rebounding, the field goal percentage, and even free throws, which was a 2-point difference, and you get a 13-point lead.
Fouls called against Eric Wynn, his second, the team's sixth.
And I don't see this very often. If you follow basketball, you know this. The teams are going to be in bonus the rest of the way, Mark. And basically, you're going to be in bonus the entire second quarter.
Khalid Rashad is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against number 20, Skylar Helmuth, his second and the team's seventh. Checking into the game for Auburndale, number 15, Tobias Holton.
I got to tell you, Mark, we've seen this scenario way too much during this year's event. Of course, I know it's not intentional. You look at these matchups and you think they're going to be competitive. And what I mean by that scenario is just one team getting a large lead in the first half right out of the box, so to speak.
Nigel Brown to Garrison Smith for three.
We have seen a couple of teams be able to come back from these large deficits, but for the most part, I'd say maybe 75%, that initial run at the beginning of the game has determined the outcome.
Khalid Rashad for three.
Black 0-1-1.
Foul called against number 0, Andre Blake. That is his first personal foul, the team's seventh, and it puts the Warriors into bonus. At the line, shooting 1-1, Nigel Brown.
Both teams, again, remain in man-to-man here with 6 minutes left.
Out of bounds Warriors ball. Good work there by Ricky Davis making that happen.
And didn't really get much of a chance to talk about this, but just a general observation here, Mark. West Orange has 11 turnovers, which means if they stay up at that pace, they're going to have 44 for the game.
Ricky Davis for 3 from Mike McAllister.
So a couple of trays here from West Orange. And some momentum established. Opportunity to cut further into that lead for a third consecutive possession there. A weak shot by Auburndale. I mean, just physically you didn't get enough steam on it.
Nigel Brown, and one. The foul is called against number 4, Paul Maxwell. That's his first personal foul, the team's 8th.
So much needed play there. Like I said, they going for a third consecutive possession of scoring without giving up points. And I usually think you get to that third possession, you've gained some steam and you established some steam. It's now a 9-point lead, so again, when you fall behind early by more than 10 points, the goal is to get back to 10 at halftime.
Isaiah Turner picks up 2 for the Bloodhounds. Back to an 11-point advantage. Floater from Brown won't go. Rebound to Turner.
Now for the first time tonight, we're seeing Auburndale showing some patience on offense as far as elongating the time of possession.
Red 24.
Fouls called against Warriors number 24, Mike McAllister, his second and the team's 8th. At the line, shooting 1-and-1 bonus. Number 1, Isaiah Turner. Excuse me, that's number 4, Paul Maxwell. But first, checking into the game for the Bloodhounds, Nathan Beamer.
So as you mentioned there, number 4, Paul Maxwell, a senior point guard. He's at the line, opportunity to extend the lead to 13 again. Halfway there, gets the first free throw. 12-point lead, 4:29 left. Again, both teams are at 8 fouls, so bonus the rest of the way. So both free throws are good here, and some early observations as we get into the middle stages. Auburndale is a very good shooting team from the free throw line. They are now 5 of 6. That's a 4-point difference.
Push is called against Bloodhounds number 15. Tobias Holden is second, the team's 9th. Checking into the game for Auburndale, number 5, Cameron Laguerre at the line, shooting 1-and-1, Mike McAllister. Well, the 1-and-1 won't go, but McAllister redeems himself by going out to fetch his own rebound. Davis's 3 is off the mark. And boy, we've seen some really excellent defense from the Bloodhounds so far. Warriors have been fairly unsuccessful in penetration. They've had to take a lot of low percentage threes, and not a lot of them are going in.
Yeah, 0 for 6 at the end of the first quarter. They've gone up a little bit, but I doubt they're more than about 12%. Again, as I said at the beginning of the quarter, Auburndale really has not played well. If you look at the statistics, all of them are below average except for the rebounding. However, compared to West Orange, it's still quite an improvement. 31-14 at the end of the first quarter, percentage-wise.
Nigel Brown picks up the basket for West Orange.
And of course, no sooner than you talk about the defense of Auburndale, West Orange comes up with them with an easy deuce. And now they got the lead back down to 11.
Warriors fouls called against number 24, Mike McAllister, is third in the team's 9th. At the line shooting 1-1 is Isaiah Turner, but first, checking into the game for the Warriors, number 2, Milton Smith. Number 2, Eric Wynn.
So again, Isaiah Turner, Prep Hoops class of 2019, number 411 in the nation. Florida Hoops class of 2019, number 32. Opportunity to add to his team's lead, reestablish a 13-point lead. Can't do it, but some strong offensive rebounding. And they can't get away with it twice. Auburndale, that is. West Orange gets the second offensive rebound.
Black 5, 2-2, no matter what. Double bonus both ways.
Fouls called against Bloodhounds number 5, Cameron Laguerre. That's his first, the team's 10th. At the line shooting 2 is number 2, Eric Wynn.
And so, Mark, I was talking about this a couple minutes ago. Continuation, 3 minutes, 1 second left. And we're already in the double bonus for both teams. Nice shooting there at the free throw line, much needed by West Orange, just to be able to establish some fundamentals. They they were only 1 of 5 at the line before that.
Maxwell gets put in trouble by Schuler. They managed to get it over back to the baseline. Rashad can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Smith at the other end in transition. Wynn can't get it to go. Offensive rebound for Helmuth. Another one let go by Brown, and it falls right back to him on the floor. And it's going to be Brown on the pass to Schuler for 2.
And Mark, we've seen that scenario throughout this whole event. You give a shooting the team on offense more than a couple of opportunities, and they're going to nail it eventually. They're going to make the team on defense pay.
Paul Maxwell picks up 3 for the Bloodhounds, though with considerably less excitement.
Yeah, that was just more of we're still in control basket. But again, I've talked about this a couple of times. When you fall behind early, it's not just a matter of scoring the points and catching up. There's an amount of energy being expended involved.
Nigel Brown picks up 2 for the Warriors.
And West Orange now has gone to a full court defense, which has really been the catalyst for this excitement. Of course, West Orange is just down the road about 10 miles, so you have many more fans here than for Auburndale.
Foul called against number 13, Tyler Schuler, is first, the team's 10th. Shooting double bonus, Isaiah Turner.
West Orange about 10 miles down the road. There you go, down the 429. Geographical rivalry to Apopka. Much easier trip for them to make than the Auburndale fans. And you combine that with West Orange changing his strategy, going to a full court defense, much more active too. It's almost as if Eric Jones gave the command to be more active. He had a button and pushed it.
Smith loses the ball to a steal. Maxwell picks that one off. We'll get a deflection at the other end.
So 1:26 left in the first half. A 8-point lead by West Orange. Again, double bonus for both teams. And now after that I wouldn't say torrid, but certainly above average start for Auburndale as far as the pace and trying to force the action on while on defense. They have slowed down somewhat. Still a fairly crisp pace, but not quite to the extent as it was before. Much more deliberate as far as picking and choosing the field goal attempts at a certain time during the possession.
Foul called against Warriors number 13, Tyler Schuler, his second. At the line shooting double bonus, Isaiah Turner.
Again, both free throws go in, nothing but net. Beautiful stroke there. Now we go under a minute left here. West Orange just has not been able to get a lot of any open shots here in the half-court set. Most of their points have come on transition. And again, there you see another blunder by West Orange. Turnover, lost the dribble, and then committed a foul.
Hold is called against Eric Wynn, his third. At the line shooting double bonus, number 5, Cameron Laguerre.
Again, with 37.1 seconds left here, Mark, if West Orange could somehow avoid having to be in half-court sets most of the time, they'd probably be tied, have a much different ball game here. Probably have given up about 10 points either between offensively not being able to get anything inside or turning the ball over.
Checking into the game for the Warriors, Garrison Smith. Nigel Brown, and one. Push is called against number 1, Isaiah Turner. That's his third personal foul. Brown shooting 1. But first, checking in for Auburndale, number 0, Andre Blake.
So huge mistake there by Auburndale. Obviously, chance to cut the lead even more. Didn't get it down to 8, but just lost so much momentum. Again, I've talked so much about in the last 30 seconds. If a team can score, that's huge for them going into the second half. Gives them a blueprint from which to start with in the second half. Unfortunately, 2 opportunities to get some more points, cut it below 9, could not be taken care of by West Orange. And they're going to catch a break here with the turnover, and they might still get out of here with that last point, and they do.
Nigel Brown will have the last word of the half, and that takes us to halftime. It's a 35-28 game as the Warriors are able to stay in it and trail by just 7, headed into the locker room here in our last contest of Saturday night.
Arrow change. Give you horn 3.
Are you going to read the stats?
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your halftime stats. We'll get to those in just a moment, but first, we again want to thank all of our sponsors. You can find them listed in your program. If you picked one up at the admission table on the way in, you can also find them on our website, metrovsfl.com, including Baptiste Orthodontics, Elevate Orlando, 1520 WBZW, Ababka Commissioner Kyle Becker, Burnfat Orlando, and St. Germain Chiropractic. We'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for the last 2 quarters of Saturday night action. The Warriors, after almost letting the game get away from them, finally managed to find their rhythm toward the end of the second period, and they've managed to close the gap back to something more manageable. They're also going to get the first strike here as Nigel Brown opens up second half scoring for West Orange. And so, Neil, maybe this game is not the abject failure that it looked like it might have been.
Yeah, what was as much as a 17-point lead is now down to 5. And I believe the catalyst for that was going to a full court trap.
The basket by Nathan Beamer is good. He's to the line for the three-point play. Skylar Helmuth is called on the foul. It's his third, the team's first this half.
And of course, as soon as we talk about West Orange being able to cut into the lead and cutting all the way down to 5, a three-point play by Auburndale now sends it back to 8. So again, like we do every game, going to look at the stats here. And once again, Auburndale is not very well below average themselves, but West Orange was even more below average. And that was really the difference why they were able to jump out.
Red 12.
And West Orange's ability to cut into the lead coincides with, again, the stats improving.
Milton Smith is at the line after being fouled by Garrison Smith. Checking into the game is number 24, Khalid Rashad.
So looking at field goal percentage, Auburn shot 10 of 29. That's 34.5.
The Tigers aren't playing tonight. I believe you got Auburndale.
Yes, Auburndale. It's been a long day, Mark. It's been a very, very long day. But yes, Auburndale.
That's Beamer on the pass from Holton. Picks up 2.
They shot 34.5% in that first half, 10 of 29. But they did shoot. They did not shoot the ball often from three-point land, only 5, but they were effective at 60%, completing 3 of them.
Push is called against number 2, Milton Smith. That'll send Nigel Brown to shoot 2.
And in the meantime, the Warriors, West Orange, converted 11 of 30 attempts. That's a percentage of 36.7. So at one point, after that first quarter, they were at about 12%. So quite a bit of a climb there, even though it's still only 33% compared to what it was. Vast improvement. And the other really significant area statistically was really at the free throw line. And really the difference there was the fact that Auburn went 10 more times to the free throw line. Auburndale went to the line 10 more times.
Beamer was fouled on the putback attempt to go to the line and shoot 2. Garrison Smith is called in his third personal foul, the team's third this half.
So 12 of 16 at the line for Auburndale. That's a 75% clip. And West Orange, only 3 of 6. Definitely lower in the percentage, 75 to 50. And again, 10 free throw attempts fewer. And that right there, that of course is 9 points. And we had a 7-point lead at halftime.
Who shot that? Who? Basket by number 14, Visual Russell. Out of bounds, Warriors ball. So a 10-point game now as I clicked the wrong button a minute ago. It should be 34 to 44. There we go. 34 to 44 is the correct score. And we're going to add a 3. Tyler Schuler behind the arc for 3.
And so now 7 points, just like it was at halftime. Again, we've seen that lead fluctuate between 5 and 12. It settled in at 7 at halftime. Looks like we're getting a repeat of that, although that's only a couple minutes into the third quarter, making that judgment.
Second chance basket from Nathan Beamer.
And Beamer with some strong rebounding there, getting his body in the right position, using his shoulders to clear out some space there, textbook technique. And on the other end, West Orange forced into an off-balance shot.
Held ball. Possession, Bloodhounds.
Oh man, that would have been one of those hammer blows if that ball had fallen in. Everything was beautifully set and executed on that inbound pass except actually getting the ball to fall through the net. Nonetheless, Auburndale gets another opportunity here.
No good on that attempt. Tyler Schuler on the rebound. And here come the Warriors. And another shooting foul. Visual Russell fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Bloodhound foul is called against number 15. Thomas Holton on the block. That's his third personal, the team's second.
So in that first half, if you remember, we got into the bonus with about 3.5 minutes left. We already have 5 fouls committed here. That's a combined 5. And we are not even at the halfway point of the third quarter.
Nine-point advantage for the Bloodhounds. Warriors have not led. And they'll catch a break here. Or rather, I should say they'll miss a break here as Russell goes 0 for 2.
Opportunity to reestablish lead over double digits, but again, Auburndale does not take care of the ball. Bad pass. It looked like we had some miscommunication between the two players as far as where the ball was being thrown to. And now West Orange, the opportunity to cut the lead down to 7 again, or maybe even 6, which they do.
Tyler Schuler for 3 on the pass from Nigel Brown.
So again, that field goal percentage keeps climbing, keeps improving.
Push is called against Warriors number 3, Nigel Brown, his second personal foul, the team's fourth. Bad pass, and it's picked off. Paul Maxwell wasn't going to take that one sitting down, though. He gets in there and never really had a lot of hope of being an actual pick, but he was going to make his presence known anyway. Tyler Schuler is fouled behind the arc. He'll get 3 shots. The foul is called against number 23, Nathan Beamer. That's his second, the team's third.
So opportunity here to further cut into this lead, keep the momentum going, and cut it by as many, all the way down to 3 points. And I believe it was, what, 15 in the first half?
Yes, it's, I'd have to go back and look. But it was a lot more than 4. All right. Well, in the words of the great Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Warrior foul is called against Nigel Brown, his third, the team's 5th. Oh, nice rebounding inside there by Beamer. Nathan Beamer gets the putback for the Bloodhounds, and we'll pause for a timeout. Auburndale requests a timeout.
West Orange fell asleep there at the wheel, so to speak.
Full timeout requested by the Bloodhounds. And we'll take this opportunity to remind you that if you did not have a chance to pick up a program on the way in, you can get them for $1 each. It actually costs us more than that to print them, but we want you to have an opportunity to have one. If you'd like one, and it has the season outlooks for all 39 teams participating, as well as their complete rosters and team information. You can also find the insert in there that has all the Max Preps rankings, the Orlando Sentinel Sweet 16, and all of our partners who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible. This is the last game of tonight, as that will take us to the end of day 3 with game number 13 here, but we are not anywhere close to done. We've got 7 more games of Metro versus Florida action, starting bright and early Monday morning on your Martin Luther King holiday as our host school, the Apopka Blue Darters, take on the Lake Minneola Hawks. Then the Colonial versus Lake Highland Prep at 12:15, East River versus Mount Dora Christian Academy at 1:45, Timber Creek versus Lake Brantley at 3:30, Ocoee versus Mariner at 5, Windermere versus CFCA at 6:30, and Winter Park versus the First Academy at 8.
So again, Mark, with 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter, a much different game than what it looked like for almost the entire, pretty much the entire first half.
Checking into the game for the Bloodhounds, Zaylin Perry.
With that said, though, now Auburndale is starting to re-exert itself here. Opportunity to go back up by 3 possessions. I mean 4 possessions. No, 3 possessions. West Orange has made a couple of mistakes. The last time down, no one crashed the board, and Beamer got inside and had an easy offensive rebound and tip in.
Zaylin Perry picks up 2.
And once again, another mistake by West Orange.
Tyler Schuler with a long 2-point jump shot for the Warriors.
So at least for the time being, West Orange is staying close enough to give themselves an opportunity to win here. And they're creating pressure and, didn't quite come up with the steal there, committed a foul. And now Auburndale is going to turn the ball over and back. And, Auburndale played very, very well for about 12 minutes, a quarter and a half. And that was really one of the characteristics of good play is reduction in mistakes, keeping your focus. And, of course, as we say, making a mistake forced by an opponent is one thing. Making a self-inflicted mistake or error is another thing. And West Orange was doing the self-inflicting mistakes. That switched around here somewhat now here in the second half as West Orange has cut into this lead and at least given a challenge to the victory.
Paul Maxwell nearly got himself trapped in the backcourt there, but he was able to get away and get the ball to the front court for the Bloodhounds. $1:50 left in the third period, and West Orange is hanging in there. And here the putback is made by number 23, Nathan Beamer. 17 points this quarter. And neither Brown nor Wynn can get the short basket. Turner on the rebound, and we're going to get the ball flicked out of bounds by Visual Russell. It stays with the Bloodhounds. $1:22 now to play.
So we are in dangerous territory right now for the Warriors, they did make a tremendous effort in order to cut the lead all the way down to 4 points. But of course, like I say, tremendous effort. How much do you have left in order to continue and sustain cutting into that lead? It's now back up to 10.
Red 24.
Foul is called against number 24, Mike McAllister, his 4th personal foul and the team's 6th. At the line, shooting 2, Nathan Beamer. That's an important foul as McAllister picks up his 4th there. He may lose some minutes in the 4th quarter because of that. Checking into the game for West Orange, number 20, Skylar Helmuth.
Well, West Orange catches a break there with the missed free throw. Again, Auburndale does not miss many free throws. They were 12 of 16 at halftime. So you can't rely on putting the hack attack here, putting people at the free throw line.
Foul is called against number 20, Skylar Helmuth on the push. That's his 4th personal foul, the team's 7th. And Zaylin Perry will be at the line. But first, checking into the game for the Warriors, number 5, Brady Scott. So now the Warriors have a new problem, and that is that Skylar Helmuth and Mike McAllister both have 4 fouls.
Yeah, it's 17 fouls, so we're not even out of the 3rd quarter. Auburndale's going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way. And as I just mentioned, they don't miss many free throws. They were 12 of 16 at halftime. And now they are 16 of 21 at the free throw line.
3-point basket, courtesy of Eric Wynn on the pass from Visual Russell. Push is called against number 4, Paul Maxwell, his 2nd, the team's 4th. And that was prior to the shots. Checking into the game for West Orange, number 12, Garrison Smith. Well, Neil, it was the right call, but sometimes you wish they just wouldn't call the foul because West Orange was actually better off with the outcome that they got without the whistle.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way the ball crumbles sometimes, as they say. And blown opportunity there for West Orange, golden opportunity. Again, not just because you're cutting into the lead, but you're at the end of the quarter.
Eric Wynn on a Warrior dunk.
So completely forget what I just said. They came back and made a play right before the end of the 3rd quarter for momentum. And wow, West Orange got away with a foul there. I guess the ref just couldn't see it with all the bodies.
And that takes us to the end of the 3rd period. And with this, all the points tallied now, it is a 6-point ball game. The Warriors back in it. 55-49. The Blue Darters still have the lead, though, going into the final 8 minutes of Day 2 action here at the 9th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge.
Did you say Bloodhounds? You did say Bloodhounds, right? Oh, sounds like you said Blue Darters.
We'll take this opportunity one more time before we depart for the day to thank our sponsors who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible. Burn Fat Orlando invites you to lose up to 30 to 40 pounds. You can step on the scale every day. They offer a money-back guarantee, and if you don't lose weight in the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. Call them now at 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN to get the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health and your weight loss goals with an inviting atmosphere, friendly staff, and personalized programs to get you fast results with real nutrition. BurnFatOrlando.com.
into the fourth quarter here. West Orange had an opportunity to cut the lead back down to 2 possessions. Field goal percentage has not changed much. Although, like I said, West Orange has been actually improving since a horrendous first quarter.
Block is called against Bloodhounds number 2. Milton Smith is second, the team's 5th.
So Auburndale shooting 38.1% from the field, only 13 of 36 for 2 points. They have done actually very well at the three-point land in limited opportunities, 3 of 6. Moving down to West Orange, they again have been steadily improving that 2-point percentage. They are now up to 44.4% after starting off below 15. A lot of 2-point field goals have been made. Overall, they are still 18 of 45. And that is a clip of 40%. So field goal percentage is pretty much even. Rebounds are decidedly in the favor of Auburndale. They really put together a strong quarter there with the rebounds. They're at 37, 14 in that third quarter.
Three-point basket scored for Auburndale by Nathan Beamer.
West Orange with 23. Turnovers are 17 to 14. Auburn with 17. West Orange with 14. But what really, I think the big difference, at least statistically, is the free throws. And that really is based on the fact that Auburndale has taken almost twice as many. They have 20 compared to 20 of 25, as we get an easy layup here for West Orange.
Nigel Brown gets into the paint for 2. Back to a 7-point game.
So 20 of 25 for Auburndale at the free throw line, 7 of 13 for West Orange. That's a 13-point difference. And again, as we entered the fourth quarter, it was a 6-point difference.
30-second timeout is requested by Auburndale. We'll take this opportunity to thank our friends at St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, offering the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida and Orlando area. If you suffer from back and neck pain, headaches, if you've been involved in an auto accident or a slip and fall incident, if you're in pain, call St. Germain, where most insurance is accepted.
The one thing I can say, again, for West Orange, not only have they made a tremendous improvement in the field goal percentage, but their turnovers have dramatically reduced as well. They had 11 in the first quarter. I remember even saying it's going to be 44 if they keep up that pace. They've committed 3 since the end of the first quarter.
From the key, 2 hots.
Now trying to go off the high bank there with the little arc.
Nathan Beamer gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul is called against number 13, Tyler Schuler, his 3rd and the team's 8th. Checking into the game for the Warriors, number 24, Mike McAllister.
Mark, an opportunity to get that lead back up to 10. It was just 4 points a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we had a lot of action happening all at once there. I didn't get a chance to say Cameron Laguerre had a great block at the other end that set up the Isaiah Turner rebound. And here we're going to get the 3-point play converted. And I mean, a lot of credit to the Warriors for not giving up here, as Nigel Brown hits a jump shot for West Orange. West Orange has been staying in spitting distance of the lead for a while now. They just have not been able to get enough unanswered baskets in a row to really make the progress that they need. And now, with 5 minutes, 15 seconds left, they still trail by 8. We're going to get a 30-second timeout as requested by Auburndale. And we'll take this opportunity to thank our friends at Elevate Orlando. Elevate Orlando is a very unique offering. It's a civic nonprofit that helps students grow in character and life skills. And they have two components. They're taught in the classroom through a partnership with OCPS as an accredited elective course, and then as private employees of Elevate Orlando, their teacher mentors are able to spend over 50% of their time outside of school mentoring students. With over 1,550 participants and a 98% graduation rate, check out Elevate Orlando.
So 5 minutes, 15 seconds left here for West Orange. And we have basically seen lead. Auburndale got off to that quick lead. I believe it was 11-2. They eventually got the lead all the way up to 15 points, and that has carried them since then. West Orange, on 3 different occasions, has been able to cut the lead all the way down to 4, but then they are unable to score. Perhaps we've seen some turnovers during those possessions, as well as just some really bad shots, just taking them way too quick instead of trying to work it in with a couple of extra passes. So now we have an 8-point lead. Again, opportunity for West Orange to cut the lead down to 3 possessions. And good rebounding there. Put the body right where it's supposed to be, blocking out the defensive player or the offensive player.
Smith cuts to the key and gets fouled. Milton Smith fouled on the attempt to go to the line and shoot 2 for the Bloodhounds. Foul is called against number 3, Nigel Brown, his 4th personal foul on the team's 9th.
And we've talked about free throw shooting at great length here during this game, Mark. West Orange certainly is at a disadvantage now. 9 fouls, which means double bonus the rest of the way. And Auburndale already has 25 attempts. They've made 20 of them. That's 80%. But again, even if you're not shooting above average, just even average, going back to the old saying, you know, the more free throw attempts you take, the more points you're likely to score.
And moreover, now we have 3 players in the books in foul trouble for West Orange, with 4 fouls each. Schuler can't get the 3 to go, and the rebound goes to Zaylen Perry.
Now we're down to 4 minutes, and we're now getting into that territory where West Orange, if they're going to pull this game out, cannot afford to have any more wasted possessions.
Well, there's a good start. Nigel Brown steals a layup for the Warriors.
So you think Brown heard me?
Blocked shot, another block shot. Three-point basket for the Warriors.
And just like that, in 30 seconds, the lead's down to 5. Now again, we're at a critical point. West Orange has on a number of times, 3 times they've cut to 4, I believe 3 other times to 5. And just that has happened. Auburndale comes down at the other end and gets an easy basket.
Zaylen Perry on the second chance score for the Bloodhounds. Intentional foul is called against Isaiah Turner. That's his 4th and the team's 6th.
And no sooner am I...
At the line shooting for the Warriors, number 14, Visual Russell. So, Neil, let's talk for a moment about what that means to have an intentional foul. It is similar to a technical foul, although it doesn't count against your technical limit, in the sense that it guarantees 2 free throws, regardless of whether it was a shooting foul or not, and it also grants you possession after the free throws, like a technical foul. The difference being that the ball goes back to where it was rather than going to half court.
Right, and again, the point of this, as we get a free throw miss, is that getting that ball back, that's been West Orange's bugaboo, as I said before the technical or the intentional. They've cut the lead down to 5 or 4 points a number of times, I believe half a dozen, and then they come down and let Auburndale get an easy basket. Well, since they get the ball back, they don't have to worry about Auburndale scoring here on the easy equation.
The other thing that I'll point out is an intentional foul has a very specific definition. There are a lot of fouls that are done on purpose. It doesn't make them intentional. An intentional foul is usually a foul from behind on a defenseless player that is not making a play on the ball.
Yeah, it's pretty much the equivalent to targeting in football, in the fact that the player who's being fouled is defenseless.
Foul is called against Skylar Helmuth. That's his 5th personal foul, and he'll retire from the game with 2 points, 4 rebounds. Checking into the game for him is number 2, Eric Wynn. At the line, shooting, double bonus, number 1, Isaiah Turner.
And the reason that you do have an intentional is just like in football with the targeting, it's meant to protect the player.
Right, it also denies the incentive if you are fouling on purpose. It denies the incentive that you might have to foul a player in that way because you want to send them to the free throw line so you might be able to get the ball back. By setting the rule so that you can never get the ball back on an intentional foul, it removes the incentive for you to attempt to do that. The rough equivalent in the NBA would be a flagrant foul, although the definition is somewhat different, as well as the consequences. Deflection allows the Bloodhounds to put it back in the backcourt without a backcourt violation, and Cameron Laguerre scores on the layup for Auburndale.
So again, Mark, we've seen this about constantly throughout the second half. That lead back up to 9, now 11.
Isaiah Turner steals a layup. And yeah, West Orange has had some really spectacular and brilliant moments, but now we've got 3 turnovers in a row, and you can see that they've just lost their focus at this point.
Yeah, and you can see why they're 6 and 9. Again, they're young, so that's understandable.
Milton Smith for 2. And Auburndale, for their part, will not allow any mistakes to go unpunished. And here, I can't fault Eric Jones for taking a timeout here. His team has clearly lost their focus, and they need a moment to regroup. Full timeout requested and granted to the Warriors. And we'll pause here to thank our friends at Baptiste Orthodontics. They've got all kinds of different orthodontia for you, from traditional braces to ceramics, Invisalign, Propel, Clear Correct. From the most traditional to the newest innovations, they have it all in a beautiful new facility here in Apopka, more convenient than ever to serve the needs of our Apopka community. It is just across the street from Kitland Nelson Park at 12 South Park Avenue. If you live a little farther away, though, they have more locations to serve you at West Colonial Drive and Conroy Windermere Road. They can get you started with a free x-ray and a free consultation, no down payment, and get you on your way to quality braces starting at $129 a month. Baptiste Orthodontics, 1-800-300-7755. That's 1-800-300-7755. Visual Russell is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Warriors. Foul called against number 13, Zaylen Perry, his first, the team's 7th.
And both teams have remained in man-to-man throughout the entire game here. So the timeout, as you did mention, was called because of a loss of focus. They seem to have gotten it back here. Opportunity to cut the lead back down to 11 with just under 2 minutes. Of course, now the question is there enough time?
Yeah, West Orange would really like to have the last minute and a half back. Oh, my. Nathan Beamer gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul called against Visual Russell. That's his first personal foul. And you see, the argument that Eric Robinson is trying to make here is that because it was a shot to the head that there's something special about that. And in football, maybe there would be. You could call like a horse collar or something like that. But the reality is, as long as you're making a good faith play on the ball, there really is no special penalty for that in high school basketball.
Yeah, unfortunately, even if it is a hard hit, that's just part of the sport because you are moving up and down. You're jumping up and down.
Putback made by Mike McAllister. Isaiah Turner on the Bloodhound layup.
Black 5, 1-1.
Block is called against Bloodhounds number 5, Cameron Laguerre, his first, the team's 8th. At the line for the Warriors, number 3, Nigel Brown.
Rebound. There's a 1-1. There's a 1-1.
And we have a little oops here as we had one referee that thought it was a shooting foul for 2, another referee that thought it was 1-1. So now both coaches are upset, perhaps for different reasons, that it didn't go more their way. If they award the offensive rebound to West Orange, that's probably the best thing that they could hope for the Warriors.
And so after all that, Mark, a mistake there by West Orange. Lose focus and drop the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, well, I guess so. At the end of the day, it didn't really change the outcome of anything.
Another turnover there. I think that pretty much sums up West Orange's effort tonight. Again, as you mentioned, they've had some stretches of about 2 to 3 minutes of brilliant play, and they were able to cut the lead down to as low as 4 3 times. I believe they cut it down to 5 another 3 times, but they just couldn't seem to put together that one more play, that one extra play there, and sustain it for another minute. And really the difference was at start of the ball game when an 11-2 lead was taken by Auburndale on some very hot shooting. They have not shot well at all below them, well below, but they shot like 3, they converted like 3 of their first field goal attempts. And in this particular case, that 75% clip for like the first 3 minutes carried Auburndale to victory, along with the fact that they have gone to the line far more significant amount of times than West Orange. 33 times they've gone to the line, and they have converted 28 of those attempts. Only 10 of 17 for West Orange. So that is an 18-point difference, and what's going to probably wind up a 13-point difference, as now both teams are content to let the clock run out.
Yeah, Warriors putting some pressure on, but not going into the deliberate foul situation. That takes us to the end of the ball game and the end of the night with a 76-63 victory for the Warriors, or excuse me, for the Bloodhounds over the Warriors. in our final game of day 3, and that will take us to the end of Saturday night basketball. We've got 7 more games for you coming up on Monday, beginning at 11 o'clock as Apopka takes to the court to host Lake Minneola. We hope that you'll join us for as many of those as you can. We'd love to have you here in person for all 7 of them. If you can't make all 7 of them in person, we'll be back on the web at our YouTube channel, Metro vs. Florida Challenge, where we will be bringing you yet even more basketball action all day on Monday. Please enjoy the day off tomorrow with your families, and we'll see you Monday. Again, 76-63 is the final score here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium as we say goodnight for day 3 of the 9th annual Metro vs. Florida Challenge, presented by Burncout Orlando and St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics.